Hey guys, before I start, I just wanted to clarify that this isn't live. This is pre-recorded, but I um, just set a time for the premiere for the video to release. 'Cause I think there might have been some confusion last time. Um, so this is going to be about the terrorist alert at the Golden Gate Bridge. I talked about this in my last video, and so we're finally going to elaborate on this. And this happened to be on the same day that Monsters Inc. released. There's a lot more to say about that, but I'm not going to talk about Monsters Inc. too much in this. But so it's going to go off of this finding that I made about, well, it was the day that the creator of Dragon Ball, when they announced his death, and that was on March 8th, 2024. This was 33,300 days after the start of the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge. And there was a lot of other connections with the Golden Gate Bridge and the Golden Gate with Akira Toriyama. So this finding is from The Illusion, the YouTube channel, and thank you to Cody from the Decoding with Cody YouTube channel. After he saw my video where I brought that up, he saw the Illusions video and realized how crazy of a synchronicity it was that I'll go through it and then it'll make sense. So the day after they announced the death of Akira Toriyama, the Warriors, they dropped to 33-30, their record, and this was the start of World War II. And The Illusion's been making a lot of connections to like the Warriors and war. So he discovered that they dropped to 33-30, 30,871 days after the start of World War II, and that's the 3,330th prime number. So that it's crazy how that lined up right after the day that was 33,300 days after the start of the construction of the bridge. You know what I mean? So we're gonna be emphasizing or just focusing on this like 333. I've shown we've been talking about it a lot in my past few videos on how it connects to Revelation 8:11. There's another way I'll probably talk about it in the next video. I didn't get a chance to, but it has to do with gematria. But anyways, so the 333rd prime number is 2,239. And this is gonna be a review because I did mention this before, but I'm gonna show how this connects to Revelation 8:11 through this number 1218. And what's interesting about the date 1218 is that's when the sun passes through the celestial Golden Gate each year on 1218. So the 1218, the 12th prime is 37, and the 18th prime is 61. The Hebrew year of creation is 3761 BC, and this whole thing I learned from 7-1, the YouTube channel. He's like, if you're new to my work, a lot of my work is like an extension of his. He focuses on Revelation 8:11 is like the core of his work, and mine too, kind of. The falling wormwood star. So the 12th prime number is 37, the 18th prime number is 61. 3761 is a prime factorization of 2257, and the time of 2257 p.m. is the 1377th minute of the day, and 1377 is the ordinal gematria value of the whole verse of Revelation 8:11. So that's oh, and there's one more part for the review. So so how that ties into the 333. So 12:18 p.m. or sorry a.m. 12:18 a.m. to 2257, the 1377th minute of the day, is 22 hours and 39 minutes between those times. So again, 2239 is the 333rd prime number. So it's very that really shows how significant this 333 is, just in regards to Revelation 8:11. And to recap this, what's interesting is that the start of World War II, it actually was it was also 6 years, 6 months, and 6 days after the groundbreaking ceremony of the Golden Gate Bridge. So that just adds on to, this whole puzzle here. But so just to review this one more time, the Golden State Warriors, they dropped to 33 and 30, 30,871 days after the start of the construction. After the start of World War II. And 30,871 is the 3,330th prime number. So now we're gonna look at this number here. The 30,871st verse of the whole Bible is Revelation 10:9. So this is the verse, and the ordinal value. So what makes this interesting is that the ordinal value of that verse in reverse is 2257, and again 2257 on the clock is the 1377th minute of the day. So, like, how crazy is that? Like, you just perfect. You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna elaborate more on this 10:9. On the astrology wheel, the 10th house is ruled by Capricorn, the 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius, and what am I talking about? The 10th house, Capricorn, is ruled by Saturn. This is Saturn. So it's Capricorn, the 10th house, ruled by Saturn. The 9th house, Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. This is Jupiter. So the way I see these two symbols, I see 54. I guess it depends on the way that you write the symbols. But for the sake of this, like, I think there is something to this 54 with the 10:9, and so I'm just going to show that right now. So 54, Saturn, Jupiter. 54, when you write it out, it equals 126, 54, ironically, and 1377. Wormwood equals 126, just like 54, and 1377, like we just looked at, is the ordinal value of Revelation 8:11. So I think that makes this just more mind-boggling. That connection with the 10:9, and Revelation 10:9 equals 2257, and 2257 is the 1377th minute of the day. That's why I think that there's totally something to that with the 5 and 4. in the 10th and 9th houses. And so going back to the terrorist alert at the Golden Gate Bridge, to the eclipse coming up really soon. 22 years, 5 months, and 7 days, just like 2257 again. And from that terror threat going on the Golden Gate Bridge to the date 2257 in the future, exactly 663 months. And the prime factorization of 663 is 3 times 13 times 17, the second, 6th, and 7th primes. The second, 6th, and 7th prime numbers. And remember, the Golden Gate, it sits, like the celestial Golden Gate sits at the 267th degree of the ecliptic. Like that's, so that just, it's hard for me to put into words. Like I could see the connection, and it's just like it's super mind-boggling to me. I can't just like articulate it, you know. But hopefully you can see that 267 Golden Gate, and then from the terror threat at the Golden Gate Bridge to 2257, which we've been talking about, that 2257, exactly 663 months. That's what's really crazy, which breaks down to the 3 times 13 times 17, the second, 6th, and 7th primes. The Golden Gate, so looking at the starting of the construction, 2, 3, 13, 17, because remember the prime factors 3 times 13 times 17. So converting that into the date 3, 13, 17, 84 years, 2 months, and 9 days, 8,429. We've looked at that before. That is the 1054th prime number, and that represents the 1054 nuclear tests that have been conducted in total by the United States. And that is significant regarding Revelation 8:11, because Revelation 8:11 has that nuclear undertone with wormwood. The Chernobyl, like the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. Chernobyl is the Ukrainian word for wormwood, so there's the nuclear connection. So, and going back to that 333, the 333rd prime number, we looked at 2,239, and from converting that into the date 2239 to that Golden Gate Bridge terror alert is exactly 753 months. And this is going to take us into something like just another rabbit hole, I guess. But this is a big deal. I'll show why. 753 months exactly, and the 753rd prime number is 5,717, and 5 times 7 times 17. That's the prime factorization of the number 595. So let's look at the number 595 more. So it's gonna have to do with Sirius, the dog star Sirius, which equals 595 in Greek. The 595 is very significant in regards to 9/11, because well, for one of the reasons. So Osama bin Laden was 595 lunar orbits. 9/11 was 595 lunar orbits after the birth of Osama bin Laden. So I learned this from Casey Jones. Thank you. He helped me a lot with this a lot of this next stuff. So thank you in advance. And what makes this even more tied to 9/11 is because from 9/11 to 5/7/17, the date, it's 5,717 days. Like, that's you guys see that, right? Like, that just shows, just based on, like, of all the years that 9/11, if it had to happen on 9/11, like, that year, I think that is a huge clue as to why it was that year, for it to line up like that. And again, 5,717 is the 753rd prime number. So this is going to take us to the movie Back to the Future. There's a lot of decoders, I think, or a decent amount, have pointed out the 7:53 in the opening scene on the clock. There's a lot of way better decodes out there about this 7:53, and this was one of the most famous lines from the movie. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some Sirius. So Sirius, like the dog star Sirius, like the dog. So yeah, Sirius is known as the dog star. And the dog in Back to the Future, he had a pretty key role. I'm pretty sure most people are aware of that. And also on 9/11, the only dog who died, his name was Sirius. So Sirius, there's a very, very big connection with Sirius in 9/11. I learned this also from 7-1. This is Ab Urbe Condita, which translates to in the years since the city's founding, and so it expresses the date in years since 753 BC. So we're in the year 2024, and when you add 2024 to 753, it equals 2,777, and that is the 404th prime number. And there's a total of 404 verses in Revelation, the book of Revelation. So the 753 is very, very, it's not just really like significant, but also regarding the year that we're in right now, 2024. And again, I learned this from Casey Jones and 7-1, that the middle chapter of the whole Bible is the 595th chapter. It starts with Psalms 1171. This 595, the 595th chapter, it would relate to the whole chapter, but there's only two verses, Psalms 1171 and 1172. So we're looking at the day that, or the verse that starts the 595th, and that's 1171. So converting this into this date, 1171, January 1st, 71, from that date to the Golden Gate Bridge terror alert, terrorist alert, whatever, exactly 1,609 weeks, and that's the 254th prime number. I didn't write it, but 9/11 on the calendar is the 254th day of the year, but that's not the main point of this. This is the main, like, the punchline, I guess. So the second prime, remember the 254, the second prime number is 3, and the 54th prime number is 251. And 3 times 251 are the prime factorizations of 753. And again, this 753rd prime number is 5,717. And 5 times 7 times 17 is the prime factorization of 595. Like how we started with the 595th chapter of the Bible. So that was just like a whole circular riddle. And what's also interesting is that when you look at when it ended, so it started on November 2nd, 2001, so 1121, but it ended on 1171, like another variation, 11701. I forgot to like write it out, but I think that's significant. And also learned this from Casey. Thanks again, Casey, for all the help. So Sirius, it sits, but it's in between the twins of Gemini. So it's at 104 degrees. He sent me a screenshot, so I'll show that in the next slide. But you'll see that the dog star Sirius is, it falls in between the twins of Gemini, which are around approximately 85 degrees and 115 degrees. Keep this in mind too, the degree change for Sirius. This was a message from Casey. The degree change for Sirius moved back to October 5th, 1993. So we'll look at that in a little bit. But this is a screenshot that he sent me. This is Sirius. You can see it's sits in between Gemini, the twins. You know, obviously, you know, Gemini, the twins, I think we get it, right? So back to that degree change of Sirius, October 5th, 1993, to the Golden Gate Bridge terrorist alert. It was 96 months and 29 days apart, and 9,629 is a 1,189th prime number, and there's a total of 1,189 total chapters in the whole Bible. And I've shown this before. Nuclear earthquake equals 1189 in standard cipher. So just to wrap up this last slide here, it just really shows that I think it just shows how important this 595 number is, and Sirius, and just everything we looked at with regards to Revelation 8:11. So from the release of Back to the Future to this date, 1171, this is another variation of Psalms 1171. Again, that's the 595th chapter, or starts the 595th chapter of the whole Bible. The very middle chapter of the whole Bible. So from the release of Back to the Future to 1171 is exactly 811 weeks. Exactly. So yeah, that wraps up that's the last slide. Yeah, I mean, things are just really, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. Like, I hope this stuff makes sense. Like, this makes a lot of sense to me. just seeing how significant like Sirius is with I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that Sirius is really connected to 9/11, but I think it's also really connected to 8/11 because of all this, and also like that terrorist alert at the Golden Gate Bridge seems to have a lot of significance. Like there's a lot of things connected to that event that happened, and like having that as like a marking in history, it showed me a lot. Like I learned a lot just through that, being able to compare different things to that date. And I believe I'm onto something. I just don't know exactly what it's really all leading to, but yeah, anyways, I just wanted to really say thank you to everybody who has been supporting me, and new subscribers, and everyone who was at the roundtable yesterday. Thank you guys all so much for coming through and sharing your information, and I hope we could do it again. Thank you, Cody, so much for hosting that, and also thank you to everybody who helped me put this video together. It was really like Casey Jones 7-1 as usual, and then thank you Decoding with Cody for like linking up me and the illusions findings. Thanks to you, like that like led me down this whole thing, so I owe a lot to you for just letting me like I said, just linking our work together and letting me know about it. So hopefully the eclipse is pretty soon. I don't know. Try not to think about it too much, but I have a lot more to share, and I hope I can share it before the eclipse. So yeah, I will talk to you guys, or I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, and yeah, peace out. God bless. Stay safe. Bye.